All right, well, the weather I just showed you looks beautiful for any kind of outdoor activity. The big walk and run taking place in Montrose this morning, well, it's the place to be. It's the Race Against Violence, and Sally has a look at one of the top fundraising teams and how the money they're raising is helping women right here in Houston.
That's us three always happy together and laughing.
These are the hidden victims of domestic violence.
People loved Angie.
Children Justin and Portia.
We don't want this to happen to other kids.
At just 24, Justin is his teenage sister's legal guardian. Their mom died in 2012, shot 5 times by ex-boyfriend Billy Parker. The crime made headlines in the small Galveston County town of Santa Fe.
Him and my mom got into a small altercation, kind of like, "What are you doing here? Please leave." She could smell the alcohol on him. And then at that point, he pulled out a gun.
My mom was telling him to stop, and he just wouldn't. And I also was yelling at him, and he just wouldn't budge, and there was nothing stopping him.
Today, they'll walk in the Race Against Violence in honor of Mom Angie. Their team, Angie's Awareness Angels, has raised $5,000 for the Houston Area Women's Center.
Our mission, our goal for Angie's Awareness Angels is that one thing, and it is to let people know that there are options out there free of charge.
The 24-hour domestic violence hotline is a gateway to services, even for women like Angie, who had left her abuser before he killed her.
That's why we want to work with people who are in that situation to help them do safety planning. It's not 100%, but there are many things that we know that can help protect victims as they are getting out of violent relationships.
Justin and Portia can't say what would have saved their mother, but know Angie's Awareness Angels can make a difference in the lives of other women.
As victims and as her children, we choose to live on through her. And so we want to help other people because she would help them.
Really incredible kids there, and I enjoyed meeting them. In just about 30 minutes, that Race Against Violence will begin in the Montrose area, and that's where we find Domely Keith this morning. Domely, how's the turnout looking so far down there?
Good morning, Sally. The turnout is absolutely fantastic. The Race Against Violence will get going here in just over 30 minutes at 8 o'clock this morning. And of course, this is to raise awareness and money for the Houston Area Women's Center. Now, Laura White is actually a domestic violence survivor. And Laura, your story brings me to tears every time I talk with you, and you're so strong to tell your story. Why don't you tell me about what happened with you and your husband, who were going through a divorce at the time?
Yes, we were going through a divorce back in 2009. After I left him, he just decided that that wasn't something he was happy with, so he coaxed me into coming to his house to sign the divorce papers. And when I got out there, I found myself at the other end of a shotgun.
Oh, my goodness. And he pulled that trigger.
Yes, he did. When I tried to get away, he shot me in the abdomen and blamed it on me. It was my fault he'd shot me. And then about a half hour later, I finally convinced him to call 911. And he was arrested, and I was life-flighted to Memorial Hermann Hospital. When I got down there, I had completely bled out, and I no longer have a pulse. They gave me less than 1% chance of living.
But you're here, and for a reason.
Yes, I am. I'm excited to be here today. Every time I come out here, I feel like I'm at home over here.
What do you want other young ladies to know? Because you said you were an abuse victim, and you didn't even know it, because you said your husband was emotionally and sometimes verbally abusive.
Yeah, you know, the thing about it is I didn't know anything about domestic violence. It just been what I'd seen on TV, and I thought you had to be physically abused.
You didn't have a black eye or a busted lip, so you thought you weren't being abused.
No, he never physically abused me, and I just didn't see what I was living in. I would have to say that if it just doesn't feel right, or if somebody's trying to tell you what to do or keep up with where you're going, or you just get in trouble for being a normal person, then it really is something that should be looked at.
Oh, goodness, I can just talk to you for so long. My producer's giving me a hard rap. Thank you so much, Laura White and Rebecca White, the CEO of the Houston Area Women's Center. The run will get started at 8 o'clock this morning. It isn't too late for you to come out and take part, and you can also make donations online at hawc.org. Such a fantastic organization, Sally, doing great things for so many women in the Houston area.
Yeah, she's so brave to tell her story, Domely, but I know it's probably very empowering as
as well for her and the rest of the survivors who will be walking today to be out there.